Before Luigi and Guido found their home in Radiator Springs, their lives were full of charm and tradition in a small village in Italy. The air was filled with the smell of fresh olive oil, and every car knew each other by name. It was the kind of place where everyone gathered in a piazza to talk, laugh, and share stories. Luigi's family had been in the tire business for generations. His mama and papa ran the original Casa Della Tires, and it was their pride and joy. Mama was a kind but no-nonsense type, always making sure the tires in their shop were perfectly organized. Papa, on the other hand, loved telling stories to customers about the history of tires and cars they helped. Luigi learned everything he knew from them. Growing up, Luigi spent most of his time in the shop. Even as a young car, he loved the smell of fresh rubber and the feeling of helping a car roll out with a new set of tires. He would watch his papa carefully fit tires with precision and listen to Mama remind customers that a good tire is like a good friend. It takes you far. But Luigi wasn't just about work. He loved his village's festivals, especially the ones where Ferraris would occasionally drive through. Every time a Ferrari passed, Luigi's eyes would widen with excitement, and he'd try to talk to them. Most tried to be nice, but they were always in a hurry, which only made Luigi dream bigger. Guido joined Luigi's life when he was just starting as an assistant. He didn't talk much, but his speed and skill spoke for him. The two became inseparable, working side by side every day. Guido could stack tires faster than anyone, and Luigi's charm kept the customers coming back. Together, they made Casa Della Tires the most popular shop in the region. Life in the village was happy, but deep down, Luigi knew there was more out of him. He'd tell Guido about his dream to visit America, see the Piston Cup, and of course, meet a Ferrari. Guido slowly started to understand his dream. Watching the racing games, his dream to create the fastest pit stop grew bigger. He knew he was fast, but nobody ever gave him the chance to show it on the race field. But one day, Luigi's dream of leaving Italy started to feel closer than ever. A customer passing through the shop mentioned a big opportunity for tire sellers in America. They need good tires over there, the car said. Fast ones, strong ones, tires that can handle anything. Luigi's eyes lit up. It felt like a sign. Luigi rushed to Guido. America, Guido, the land of racing. We can bring Casa Della Tires to the Piston Cup tracks, maybe even meet a Ferrari. Guido wasn't sure at first. He loved their little village and didn't know if he was ready to leave. But Luigi was so excited, Guido didn't have the heart to say no. It wasn't easy for them to leave. Mama and Papa weren't thrilled at first. "Why leave what you have built here?" Mama asked. "Everything you need is right in front of you." But Luigi couldn't stop dreaming of something more. He explained that it wasn't just about selling tires. It was about being part of something bigger. "Papa, imagine if our tires were used by the best race cars in the world. Casa Della Tires could become famous everywhere." Papa, seeing Luigi's determination, finally smiled. "If anyone can make it happen, it's you, mio figlio. Just don't forget where you came from." With their blessing and a few hugs, Luigi and Guido packed up their tools, a stack of their best tires, and set off for America. Guido was nervous most of the time, but Luigi's excitement kept their spirits high. Along the way, they saw new places, big cities with towering skyscrapers, vast deserts and endless roads, and towns filled with friendly cars. Finally, they arrived in America. It was everything Luigi had imagined and more. Busy streets, flashing lights, and cars zooming by. But Luigi and Guido didn't want to get lost in the chaos of the big cities. That's when they rolled into Radiator Springs. Back then, it wasn't the quiet town as when we first met Guido and Luigi in the Cars movie. It was full of travelers, with cars pulling in from all directions to cool off and refuel. Luigi and Guido immediately felt at home, and it didn't take long for them to decide that this was the place for Casa Della Tires. Casa Della Tires quickly became a popular stop. Luigi was always ready with his bright smile, proudly showing off his famous white walls. "The best tires in all America," he could say, and cars loved his enthusiasm. Guido, on the other hand, was quieter, but just as hardworking. because he was always shaking the shop sign, hoping to get the attention of the cars that were driving by. Every time a customer pulled in, Guido would rush to help, stacking and changing tires faster than anyone had ever seen. Luigi loved to show off his friend's skills. "Look at him go," he'd say, laughing as Guido's finished another perfect tire job. Radiator Springs was more than just a town to them. It was home. They had found their place. But things wouldn't stay the same forever. Big changes were coming, and life in Radiator Springs was about to take a turn. Cars started talking about the highway being built, the interstate. At first, the townsfolk didn't think much of it. "Route 66 has been here forever," they said. "Cars will always come through Radiator Springs." But the interstate wasn't like Route 66. It was faster, straighter, and skipped the winding desert roads entirely. And worse, it bypassed Radiator Springs altogether. The cars in Radiator Springs became less with the day, which also meant less customers for Casa Della Tires. Guido, who used to be busy stacking and changing tires all day, now stood outside shaking the shop sign for hours, hoping to catch the attention of the few cars that still passed by. Luigi tried to stay optimistic. "It's just slow season," he told Guido. Luigi tried to stay optimistic. "It's just slow season," he told Guido, but deep down he could see the truth. The town was growing quieter. Businesses started to struggle, even Flo's V8 Cafe. Once, the heart of the town was seeing fewer and fewer customers. One by one, cars began to leave. Some moved to bigger cities, where there was more opportunity. Others couldn't bear to watch the town they loved fade away. Luigi and Guido decided to stay. Radiator Springs had become their home, and they couldn't imagine leaving. But everything changed when a bright red race car came speeding into town. This was Lightning McQueen, the new rookie of the racing season. He didn't seem to care much about Radiator Springs or anyone in it. He was focused on one thing, getting back to the racetrack. But the town had other plans. At first, Luigi and Guido didn't pay much attention to Lightning's attitude. After all, he wasn't the first cocky car they'd met, and as soon as he'd fixed the road, he would leave. But everything started to change when Lightning found out who Doc Hudson, another car that lived in Radiator Springs, really was. Doc had been a famous race car in his younger years, but a tragic accident changed everything. McQueen couldn't believe he was really the Hudson Hornet, and he had so many questions for him. But Doc didn't want anything to do with him, the new rookie race car. He had been so hurt by race cars that he decided to stay as far away from them as he could. But Lightning wasn't like the other race cars. He truly started to care for the town folks and helped every single one of them. But Doc still didn't trust him and called the media to come pick him up. Everyone was sad to see him leave, but with his new tires from Casa Della Tires, Guido and Luigi were sure he was going to do great at his race. But Sally was not so sure about that. She told Doc it was selfish of him to make McQueen leave like that, and that did something with Doc. Eventually, he started to regret his decision, and together with Guido and Luigi and some other town members, he went to California to support McQueen at his Piston Cup. Together, they formed a pit crew with Doc as the crew chief. It seemed like Guido's dream to do a real pit stop was finally coming true, and he made the fastest pit stop anyone had ever seen. After that, Lightning only grew closer with the cars from Radiator Springs, and something magical began to happen in Radiator Springs, which had been so quiet and forgotten. It began to come alive again. Cars started visiting the town, curious about the place where the famous Lightning McQueen was spending his time. For Luigi and Guido, it was a dream come true. The shop, which had been so quiet for years, was busy again. Guido's skills as a tire changer became a highlight, and Luigi couldn't stop smiling as customers returned to Casa Della Tires. But the most exciting moment for Luigi was the day a Ferrari pulled up into his shop. A real Ferrari. Luigi rushed out, practically tripping over himself in excitement. Ferrari! A Ferrari! In Casa Della Tires! Guido clapped and cheered alongside him. Their years of hard work finally feeling like they had paid off. Thanks to Lightning and the renewed life in Radiator Springs, Luigi and Guido's shop became a favorite shop once more. The little Italian cars had come a long way from their village, but now they had found a home and a family in Radiator Springs. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of Guido's pit stops. Honk that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.